Hey, what's up guys? Mike from Street Speed 717 here. One of the most common questions you hear on YouTube is what is the best, most powerful, most fun, rare, practical, coolest car I can buy for 20 grand or so. So what I wanted to do is make a list of 10 best videos where I try to answer each one of those questions to the best of my ability. First up here is the top 10 rarest or most exclusive, whatever you want to say, cars for under 20 grand. Now this list I kept to cars that you can reasonably expect to find for sale, so nothing crazy like they only made 10 of them. These are all cars that you can find with relative availability. Also, these are cars nothing older than from 1990. I didn't want to have anything older than that because I'm sure there's a billion choices out there for cars that are real old that you can buy for under 20 grand that are rare, but I wanted to keep them relatively new. Also, all these cars are in the performance category, so cars that were at least in some way performance oriented, so not just a steaming pile of crap that happens to be rare, so a car that's actually relatively fast or quick, fun to drive, whatever. So with all that being said, a big disclaimer also is none of these cars, I repeat, none of them are a sound financial decision. Most of them are complete money pits. But as Selena Gomez would say, the heart wants what it wants, and we are car people, so we don't always care about being financially responsible. We just love cars for what they are. So with all that being said, let's move into number one. We got the 2007 and up Jaguar XK. Need I say more? This car is beautiful, not extremely rare in its convertible form, but pretty hard to find in coupe form. I don't see them a whole lot. This car came with a 4.2 liter V8 with 300 horsepower, so not a lot of power by today's standards, but a really pretty car nonetheless. And yep, you can buy these now for well under 20 G's. So there you go. What more do you need? Number two, the Audi RS6. Now, at first glance, you might be saying, now, wait a minute, Mike. We see these goddamn things all the time. But not so. You do not see the RS6 very often. These are pretty rare to find a real one. You see a lot of badge jobs, but a real RS6 is pretty special because these motherfuckers come with a 4.2 liter Audi V8, which we all know about, but they are twin turbocharged and have 450 horsepower. So there you go. Pull up to the stoplight in your 450 horsepower twin turbo station wagon and slaughter everything from Corvettes to Mustangs and 911s and everything else that pull up next to you. So there you go. Speaking of Corvettes, here we got number 7 on the list, which is, number 8. I lost track. Here is the Chevrolet SSR. Now this has a series of engines straight from the Corvette. All those Chevy blocks are similar, but what you want in these is the 6-liter engine that had, I think, right around like 395, 400 horsepower. Not really my thing. I'm not a fan of trucks that are like for performance on the street. I like off-roading vehicles, but nonetheless, here you go, 400 horsepower little pickup truck. Neat. You don't see a lot of them. Again, not really my thing. I don't really like them, but there you go. Speaking of things that are not my style, here we got the Plymouth Prowler at number 7 on the list. This car it was like 2,800 pounds, and it had a 3-liter V6 upgraded in 1999 to 300 horsepower. So it actually was pretty quick, and it's an interesting car nonetheless. The styling's pretty neat. I think it actually looks pretty cool. They certainly didn't make a lot of them. I think I can count on one hand how many times I've seen one of these driving around. And you can get them relatively cheap now, under 20 grand. So there it is, the Plymouth Prowler. Pretty cool. Just definitely an interesting car. So at number 6, we got the Corrado SLC. Now, the SLC is the VR6 version. Now, you do see G60s from time to time, but it's pretty rare to find a VR6, especially a clean one. Most of them have been beaten to within a couple inches of their life. But if you find a good one, they're really cool. Really cool car, front-wheel drive, 178 horsepower. Pretty light, though, too. Again, like the Plymouth Prowler, it's only about 2,800 pounds. So they are relatively quick, even though they don't have a ton of power. And still a pretty car, even to this day. The styling still does not look outdated, at least not in my opinion. Still looks like a good car. So at number 5, we got a classic here. We got an RX7. Now, this is the good generation. This is the one you want. These came with a 1.3-liter twin-turbo rotary engine. 250 horsepower, horribly unreliable, but hey, this car was in Fast and Furious, so that's all. That's all there is to say. Also, coming in at number 4, we got the Toyota Supra. Now, don't get your hopes up because you're not getting a turboed Supra for under 20 grand. Nonetheless, you can get a regular one for under 20 grand. Now, these regular ones had a 3-liter inline-6, 220 horsepower, and actually as far as this list goes, these aren't that stupid. They're actually pretty reliable and relatively easy to fix and everything. So there you go. Also, another car that's in Fast and Furious. So I need to say no more. At number 3, we have the Lotus Esprit. Now, I debated pretty fiercely with myself about putting this in the list because they are by far the hardest car to find on my list here. But nonetheless, you can find them, and they're extremely cool. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to be getting the V8 one, the crazy one that's even lower to the ground with the big spoiler in the back. Looks like I don't even know, like a Lamborghini cross between a crazy Porsche 944 or something. So you're not going to get that one for under 20 grand. But you will get these. This is the S4 version. Had a 2.2 liter turbocharged engine with like 250 horsepower or something like that. So a pretty quick car, rear-engined or mid-engined, really, and also very cool. Obviously, love the styling. So there you go. You can buy one of them if you can find one for under 20 grand. Number 2 on my list is a personal favorite here. We got the BMW 850 CSI, and the one you want is the CSI. These things came with a 5.6 liter V12 with 400 horsepower. Just look at the styling. Beautiful, beautiful Grand Tourer coupe. 400 horsepower, V12. What more do you need? Flip up headlamps. That's all there is to say about it. Just a beautiful, beautiful car. Still to this day, I love those. And another BMW coming in at number 1. We have the Z3 M Coupe. Now, really, these are just called, their actual name is an M Coupe, but this is the Z3 version. You see, from time to time, you see the Z4 Coupe nowadays around, but these ones were really rare. And what you want is the 1999 with the 3 liter inline 6, had like 250 horsepower rear-wheel drive. Just a really, I mean, look at the styling, look at the hips on that thing, the fender, the way the fenders bulge. Just a really, really pretty car. Again, pretty rare. I think I probably see like one of these a year, if that. So definitely really rare and very cool. So that's the number 1 rarest, but kind of, still available car from 1990 and up on my list. I love those. Some honorable mentions here. We got the Pontiac GXP Coupe, Solstice. These things had like 250 horsepower, a little turbocharged 4-cylinder. Not that rare, but the coupe version is pretty hard to find. I don't see those a lot, so I put that on the list. Also, Maserati Quattroporte. Yep, you can buy one of these things for under 20 grand now, and it's not really, in my opinion, was a performance car, so I didn't put it on the list. But there you go. You can have one of those for under 20 grand. Also, the good body style MR2 Turbo. These things are like a baby Ferrari. No need to say more about that. They're really neat. But again, not that rare for the list. And same story with the Honda S2000. Wonderful, wonderful car, but I see them pretty often around here. And I live in Pennsylvania, so I can only imagine in a place like Florida or Texas, you'll probably see thousands of them around. But anyway, that is my list of the 10 most rare exclusive performance cars from 1990 and up for under $20,000. Thank you guys so much for watching. The next list I'm going to be making is the 10 most expensive cars you can buy for under 20 grand. And you'll see what I mean by that when that list comes out. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in that video. Take care.